Good morning, everyone. This is Paula, and I'm here today with no plan whatsoever. I just was piddling with some of these digitals from, I've had them on my desk wanting to play with them, from After Midnight Designs, so on Etsy. Now, just so you know, they're the ones that look like these are theirs. And then I'm playing with some other stuff also. So I cut this one out because I thought it'd take the longest. If you have a good blade, you can get these out really nicely. So let's cut the other one and then I'll show you. I'm just playing, like I said, trying to see what I might want to put in some of my journals. And some things I've just wanted to do that I haven't done. Let me make sure you're in view. Now, I went the first round on this one and then decided to wait on every one. So let me see how far. That's as far as I got right there. So let's start over here and just kind of follow where I left off. And this is about when I said, I think I'm going to turn the camera on. Because, you know, why not? Why not do it together? So you can make your own windows in any kind of paper, any kind of design, print, whatever you might have in mind. Now these blades are called pin blades. And you can get them at Hobby Lobby. They come in a set of 3. And all 3 blades are a little different. Now, like any blade, you have to go around a couple times because you don't want to, the idea is not to go deep and fast. The idea is to get it straight, right? So this, you know, the faster you go usually is, you know, the straightest you're going to get. But don't go crazy. And then usually what I do when I get one that's hung like this is I just turn it over and toss it. And now you can see there's ziggy-zaggy areas, right? So you could try to use your blade to straighten those up, or be sure you always close these blades. They're very sharp. And yes, I have cut myself by not doing that. So I usually take my scissors and go in here and do a somewhat straight job from the inside. Back in the day, that's all we would have had to do was use scissors to even cut it out initially. If you don't have blades, you can cut out these windows. You just poke a hole in the middle and take your scissors and put them in there and start cutting. And I always end by straightening the edges. Now, what am I going to put in here? Well, I don't have a plan, remember? But I did find these little Victorian-style homes on the table next to some of my other leftover die digitals that I've had out. You know, I want to just get on and play today. I know you guys like doing that. And I think I'm going to do more of that instead of planning some big rocket science kind of thing. I think that you'll see more videos that way. And honestly, it'll be more fun. Sometimes we'll just do repetitive things. Sometimes we won't. So we'll just see how it goes. I'm kind of making this not so black around this one edge because it's bigger than the others. And you can also shrink these on your computer because I've done it. These are some I had in this size, so they definitely are not shrunk down. Just get rid of your trash right there. You can also put any kind of picture in them. So I'm going to take this Victorian style home and put in this pink one that I already cut out. And it depends on what you're doing. Like maybe you want to do a picture of an actual person and put in your book, like an old vintage photo. I'm going to show you an example of how that could look. I printed these a day or two ago. I just thought they were pretty. So let's try this one. Now ignore everything around you and just look at the actual picture. So this is pretty too. But what I'm going to do next is get out an actual picture. Hold on. It's right behind me. I would have had these had I made a plan to do the video, right? Well, sometimes you just don't have a plan, right? At least that's how it is with me. Now, I'm going to use the original in these little folders, but I would never use my original photo unless, you know, I was giving that photo to someone, because they're hard enough to find, you know? So let's see what we got. We got some cute photos here. I don't remember half of them, but I know I've collected them over time. Oh, okay, this must be, no, it's not empty. It's just you got to get this out first. Kind of lifts out of here. Maybe, maybe not. Well, I'm not going to tear it up. I don't know why it's not coming out of there. And you could use old postcards. You could use whatever you wanted. Look at this little girl. And look how dirty. These little, look at that little guy. He is like pretty scratched up, isn't he? This little guy here. I love to read things that are put on some of these, but I'm going to use her as an example. Look how precious that is. Or you could do it with the yellow. I really like the pink one on her. So let's see. Here we have a grandma, and everybody loves grandma. And it had this on the back. It says Martha Jane. So I guess her name was Martha Jane. I don't know that for sure. But look at this. That's fun too. Okay, let me pin this back on her. I picked up two at the same time. I wonder if this is... No, that's not her. This is the same lady right there. That's the same little lady. I'll cover that back up. I'm trying to find one. Look at that little one. Isn't he cute? Let's see what this little grandma looks like. She doesn't quite fit. She's a little on the small side. So let me see what else we got. I got a bunch. This little girl's the winner so far. Here is a grandpa or a daddy holding the children. Now, I have made different kinds of these little pockets, showing you different examples. Look at that. That is an old picture. Dewey and Violet Vineyard are their names. That's fun, huh? This is Thomas. It's just fun to know who these people are. I had a friend tell me, how can you take people's pictures out of vintage shops that are old and kind of invade their privacy? And I told her, I don't look at it like I'm invading their privacy, because they make me so excited, for one thing. I love that I can continue their life on and they can be honored in other ways with the use of their pictures. No one will know who they are. So, I mean, other than if you get a name, you know, this is the Vineyard family. But I just think it's fun. Look at this little lady. Now, I'm going to see if I can't slide her in here. I made a little pocket. It's double-sided. But I want to show you. Now, she would fit right in there without any problem whatsoever. Look at the little boy and little girl. I hate that pictures fade over time. Let's see if they'd fit in here. Not bad. Here's Grandma and Grandpa. Bless, this is an old picture now. But it has these spots in it, and I just think that yellow enhances the beauty of the photo. Here is your typical school teacher. Is that not a school teacher if you've seen one? She just looks like a school teacher, doesn't she? Here's a papa with his 2 kids. And I say papa because you feel like back in the day, they always called their dads papas. This little girl's cute. But, I mean, I could go on and show you every picture I have. But I just wanted to let you see what I thought. This little girl's definitely the winner. But I do have a huge, huge stack. Here's another teacher for you. She looks like a teacher too. Here's a little lady. Oh, she's in a rocking chair. I thought she might be. I don't remember where I got all of these. I've got a ton of good ones. I even have one. A nurse with a baby. Isn't that precious? It's like maybe she's the nurse that, you know, was a delivery nurse or something. Look at this little girl. This is really thick and heavy. But this is one that was used with a little bit of shine to the paper. But this baby is beautiful. I love this black hair. I said I was going to stop, didn't I? I'm showing you these so that if you don't collect them, you can consider how much fun you can have with them. And what all you can do with them. Here's a lady that is in a piece of cardboard, it feels like. So this is even, oh my goodness, I love that. I may have to get that copied and put some in it and maybe copy this baby for this one. There's 2 that's definitely on the maybe list. I like this picture, and I bought this picture because it's cotton fields behind them. And look at that little wagon. It's kind of got a glare right here on the 2 of them, but I just love that picture because my mom worked hard in the cotton fields. And I just think that's reminds me of their days. The days when she did that. And this little lady, how cool is she? I love this one. And these little girls, bless her heart, they look homely, but that's the difference in no makeup and makeup. And this is one of the coolest pictures I got. 2 of. I say that. Look at him with that horse. I may want to copy this one because I'm going to do a horse traveler's notebook at some point. Look at this old house. How quaint. Anyway, I'm distracted now. My pictures have pulled me in. And you know how easy that is to happen. And then, of course, you have these little girls. I don't know if these are remakes. Nope, they're postcards. Let's see if it's post-dated. And I think it's not English, so I couldn't tell you. This is a Spanish-speaking person. And this is the same little girl in all three of them. Okay. That's an old one too. Oh, look at that. Looks like almost like a stagecoach, but it's not. Just a covered wagon. And I forget what I have until I get in here and start looking at them. Oh, that's a nice looking couple, huh? Let's see what they look like in the yellow one, if I can find it now. It's over on this other. I got stacks all over my table. What can I say? That's not bad. But my point, I guess, is just that these frames are really a lot of fun. You could do them, you could make your own, or you could buy the digital, and, you know, have a lot of fun with them. They are, some pictures are pretty expensive. I've paid as much as $2.50. Has to be super special for me to spend more than that. And, but I've spent more than that. And there's just, oh my goodness, I forget these cool pictures. But anyway, so that's the last one I'm going to show. And then we're going to move on. Let me put these back in my little box here. I also have a box full of postcards. I don't know where they're at this very moment, but someday I'll show you those. There's a bunch. Sometimes I tell myself, why are you collecting this? You don't use them. I forget about them. You know, is what I do, is I absolutely forget about them. So that's how I would use these. I would use them with the bigger photos and so forth. Now, I just took a couple punches I had and did different things. Like, this is a Creative Memories. No, it is a Stampin' Up! Punch, which this is a lousy punch. It's not, it doesn't work very well. Gets hung right in here. But you could put it to the side. Like on this other side, I stamped it here, but I didn't push in far enough. And I left a little space. I could still use it, but you can slide in, you know, whatever you want to slide in there. Let's slide in this little tag upside down just to give you an example, you know, of how pretty that could be. Of course, that's not all in the right place, but let's do it on this side and try to do it up in the right direction. Now, see, this is done. And this is how I would do pockets. I would fold, I'd take a sheet this big, which there's not really a measurement for these. I cut them at 4.5 wide, and I cut it at 7 inches long, and then I folded it in half. If you have something pretty here, you can punch to the side. If not, you can punch in the middle. For example, I've got an example of one that's punched in the middle. And, well, no, here's another one. See, that one is off to the side like it's supposed to be. Except it was a single one. I didn't, but look how pretty that is. Right there. And then I did something, I was piddling. I did a little, like a folder. I added some seam binding lace right here as a tie closure. I punched out the hole and then put a little flower here too, and a flower in the back. But when you open it, I thought, well, I could put it straight back like this, and that could be your visual. And it can. And then you can open it and do whatever, you know, you want with the rest of it. Or you could do it like leave it open at the top and make a tag that will match where the hole is. So you have to put the tag in there and match it up. It's not as easy as you might think, because then you're going to have it open down here unless you seal it closed for it to fall out. And you have to have it very precise. That one's not too far off. And again, you would lay your tag inside and line up where you think your tag would land once you put it in here. And that's where you drop your oval. Now, that's just another example of what you can do. And I would just cut the paper like this. That's pretty wild inside, isn't it? And punch a hole in the front. Or I would take one that has a center like this. Let's take this one. And I would put it here and then slide my picture behind it. Let's see if I've got something we can slide behind it without showing. You get what I'm saying. And I like this idea pretty well. And I would probably say to you, you could even double mat this to give you more space around the outside to glue it down on this image. But this one actually flips up. So we could take the oval. Let me find my oval. Now this makes a lot of noise. It sounds like it's going to break my table. But I'm not too concerned. And I'm going to turn the oval. If I want it long ways, I have to do it like this. Now, if it's not even on each side, then you can just trim the side that has a little bit more. Yeah, that's how strong Tim Holtz's little thing is. It's pretty spot on. Now this one is off to the side, which means that this mat would probably come closer to fitting. And then you just trim everything where you want it. Now this will give you a front and back, or you can do away with that half and just have it like this, which personally I like better. Or just make sure you open your punch up. So what I would do in this situation is I would line this up with the house or with the circle that was done, and then I'd trim everything even around it. And that would be fun. So the object of this video is really not to sit here and punch and glue, and it's really just to give you some ideas. Like, I love that shape. Isn't that fun? Now, it obviously is not big enough for that picture, but what about if we could put one of Rachel's tags? This is one of her Easter tags, but it could go for anything. Put it right there. Isn't that pretty? Now, you could cut it off and just use it like an image behind the window. Or, where's the other one I had here a few minutes ago? There's several of Rachel's that are just perfect for this. Let me grab them. But you can do it on any shape. Let's see if I can find this little bird's even better because he's off to the left a little bit. See, I like the way he looks better. Because then you can make it a pocket to stuff him in. Or you can just make him an image, which I like. And that's probably how I would do it. Is like that. And then you can glue it on. Or you can wait, make this a pocket. Put glue on 3 sides except the top. Very thin lines of glue. And then you come back in on your pocket and add this tag. How beautiful would that be? That's going to happen because I'm going to use it that very way. Okay, So I have a few more. Here's one that's in the mint green. I just grabbed up scrap paper to do this. Now here's a mint green. Let's see what we can find in Rachel's. If we did it like a pocket, that would go. I don't know. There's not mint greens in there, but doesn't that look pretty? I'm just saying, I think it does. Now here is kind of a peachy color off to the side. If you don't want to use it off to the side, you can use it for a pocket, and it will take up something wider that you slide in. Of course, that's not the perfect image to show you, but I know there is some in here. So you can slide it in, have a wider tag than that. Of course, I don't. There we go. So there's just lots of ways to play with your punch and scrap paper, make a window or a pocket or a little pouch like thing for a tag, and that will be fun for whoever gets involved. So also, I want to show you one more like this, and then I'm going to show you another thing I've had on my desk to make and haven't done it yet. Okay, so I'm leaving these two right here because they're definite. They're going to happen. You can attach this paper to the back of some tea stain paper and let it be a floating pocket as well, which I think they would be good as, because you can move them around. If you didn't want to lose them from one journal, take them into your next journal. Do you know what I'm saying? And send them through another month with you of journaling, or more than a month, a year, or whatever, however you set yours up. Now, I am going to do the oval on this one. I'm going to take it over to the side so it's not so noisy. But this is a double page glued together. I folded it like this, trimmed off anything that was too wild. And I'm going to go in here and try to punch only one side. I'm telling myself that so I don't forget. Now, it's not going to go way down in there because it's, you know, it's only got so much neck right here. But let me see if this one will go further. We'll just look and see. But most of them are pretty standard, I think, and only go so far. Yeah, that is very true. So let me punch this one on the side table. And I'm going to show you what you can do with it. I'm going to put it in here straight as I can. Okay, so now you have this here. Now I'm thinking, well, see, if it was this way, I'm thinking this tag would have been beautiful, right? And we still can do that because we've got this single sheet. Let me punch it up and down. It's kind of crooked, but that's okay. But you could go in here and slide this in, you know, like a pocket, or just make it something permanent. These are so crooked, these letters are. I must have folded that crooked. It's a good thing it's only an example, right? I also recommend you try collaging these and doing something with those. Now, you can also get a tag that is shorter or taller. Like if you just want it in there permanently, you can. Or you can turn it sideways. Let me find the one I had earlier that I like. There it is. You can make your pocket up here, close in the three sides, and you can also enlarge your tag. When I say enlarge, put it on another tag and make it bigger, and just use the image on a blank tag. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm going to show you. So I'm going to take this tag we used on something earlier. And so we're going to close down all of this. Now, mind you, we're going to flip it over because we're going to pretend to glue this right here. Okay? We'll just glue the image to whatever level this ends up being. Okay, it's glued down, and we're going to leave the top open, and we're going to go down in it like this. And then your tag is, of course, we'll have to move the image down on our tag, and then you'll end up with your tag sticking out, which I like. And you can mimic whatever you might have on your tag, such as these little flowers, if you wanted to, on the outside. So like you could put them out here, the same little design. So there's lots of ways to make window pockets and have fun with them. And I sure love this one. This is my favorite by far. And I will be using this in one of my journals at some point. It could even be a bird journal. Ha, you never know. And then this one. Okay, so enough of that for now. I'm scooting all that to the side. I've been wanting to make some of these, and I'm going to have you do it with me. So basically what it is just little stamp pads. And I've made these a couple. I kind of like to throw some of these in some journals. They're little pads. And they're small. See how small they are? I'm going to lay this right here so there's not a glare, hopefully, for you guys. And this is a little Canada tag, or stamp. So I've got a few that I've made. Now, this one was made by me. It's a faux stamp. And you can stitch them, or you can staple them. And in our case, I'm going to try to staple them so we don't have to get over to the machine because it's covered up. What else is new, right? So all of this in here is the makings of a few of these. So let's just get started here. I've inked everything, and I mainly just want to show you that I just put in, I glued the back paper down. You don't have to do that. Some people make them where you just have one little layer inside. But for some reason, I just think that it's cooler to add paper. So I'm going to add the paper down in the spine. And I'm going to see if my Tim Holtz will fit down in there, because it's been acting up on me since I got back from my retreat. I don't know what its problem is. But see, that's just like what you would see in a lot of books. They just staple them together. And hopefully, ooh, pretty close to being right on the spine. But one of them was slightly off. And that's no big deal. That's okay. I'm going to kind of ink over them. All right. So now we have this cute little book. And who doesn't like a little tiny book? And we're going to add a postage stamp to it. Now, which one? I don't know. I had one picked out right here. I like this one because it's from I can't read it. It's a Christmas one. This is my beloved son. It looks like Jesus baptizing. So we're going to glue that right here on the front. And I'm using glitter glue for this, but you can use whatever. It looks like it's stuck on like a piece of tape or something. But you want to make sure you get the edges down good so it doesn't get torn. You can get stamps by going on Etsy and typing in, let's say, for example, butterfly postal stamps. And then it will bring you up what's for sale in that category. If you don't get it, that means there's nothing for sale like that. And you could do birds, you can do Christmas, you know, you just do flowers. Flowers are pretty popular, I'm sure. And so there we go. Now, what can we do to spruce this up a little? Well, you know, on this one, you can do just about anything. I'm not going to say you can't, because you can. Let me find one that has a big enough pin on the end. Oh, that one's a little big. Let's see if I can find a smaller one. Okay, let's do a 5. This is a Micron 05 archival pen. You can get these at Hobby Lobby in a pack of like 5 or 6, and they'll have different colors, or you can get them in a pack that has different sizes. Now, I'm just going to do like a little stitch right here. It's coming out even on the sides. I'm surprised. Then you just join the two together. Or you can just go around as you do them. Yeah. Or if you wanted to put a little flower or something right here, you could do that. And I will put these under a weighted book at night so that when I take them off the next morning, they will not stay open constantly. See, this one was put under one, and it's not bad. This one was as well. So they're going to stand open a little bit. What can I say? We do the best we can, right? Now, I should have got all these out and got them in some kind of order. So let's make a bigger one. Not sure. Maybe this was it. Let's see if there's more paper. Maybe not. Maybe so. So here is, let me lay these out. I think maybe this one was going on there, and maybe this one was going on here. Yeah. You never know. But this one needs more paper. We'll see what we can do. Okay, so this one seems too small or too big for this. Maybe it goes on here. I like these faux stamps. They're fun. I'm going to put it on here. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is staple our papers. I just line them up in the middle. Now, sometimes you'll have to use a regular staple or a, I don't know if this one will go far enough back. Oh, it does. But my favorite stapler by far is the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. I got that one too high. But that's all right. It doesn't matter. You know? The thing is just to have fun. Now, you can use these with other things besides stamps. You can use stickers. You can use, you name it. Whatever you come up with. You can put butterflies on there, or however it makes you happy. And now we're going to add our faux stamp. Now, I don't have the stamp scissors or the stamp when you make them. I have to use my pinking shears. But now I have a punch that I can use from Stampin' Up. I'll show it to you in just a second. Now, there is this one. How fun. Now, I'm thinking in my brain, what can we do to make this one even more fun? Well, I've got one idea. Let me look here. So you can add a little tiny fun tag if you want. You know, you can staple it on here or whatever. That's one little fun thing. And you can make these different sizes, like in different colors. There's a little tag. So that's a thought. You could put a little flower. Let me show you. Like I have these leftover little flowers here. This one would be good with a red, but I don't know if I have red in here. Yes, I do. A little tiny bit. That's all it takes, right? Is one little flower. So we'll put it on this one. And you want to make sure you put the right side of the flower. Sometimes both sides look terrible. Sometimes both sides look great. But you just have to be the judge of which one you want to use. And I'm not putting it next to the number. I'm going to put it right down here in this little corner. But I just think it adds a little something. And you don't even have to do that. If you like them plain, that's fine too. Okay, now the next one I want to do. Excuse me, I still have my allergies. And yes, they are driving me crazy. Oh, well, here's the rest of the paper. I guess I didn't get it all cut out. Must have been interrupted. Do you know what that's like at your house? It's probably like it is at my house. I'm going to cut them all over to one length. Or fold them over, and then I'll trim them all at once. Here's a couple more pieces. Got some avocado dyed paper. Some tea stain. And I usually put about 4 or 5 pieces, not more than that, because, you know, it's not going to matter how many is in there necessarily. Either way, you know, they're going to work. Okay, so let's do the small ones here and the 2 bigger ones on the outside. Now, if I could drag this out and make it a super long video, because there's so many things you can do. Now I'm doing like this, so I know exactly where to cut my pages to. And then I'm going to add a little bit of ink so that we don't have a white spot on our tag. Our little book. Okay, so now we need a staple. Getting all comfy, ready to put my postage stamp in there. Got to remember, I got to put my, I don't know if it's going to fit. Nope. Come on. It does if you push a little. So we'll try it again. There we go. Got them all in line. Very nicely. So on this one, I thought we would add some lace. And you're probably thinking, lace? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I have some old vintage lace on my little table here. Let's use this one. That's kind of a creamy color. And we'll decide how long it needs to be. Maybe we could put 2 of these on here if we should decide to. Hopefully these scissors will cut. Well, what do you know? They did get to the end. Now, do we want 1 or do we want 2? I don't know. I think I want a second one on there, go in the opposite direction, like this. So the curvy parts are meeting on the outside. There you go. Now I'm going to pin my lace back. These are so old. They have rusty pins in them. Okay, so we're going to take some Fabri-Tac this time because it just does better with lace. And I'm going to put it down the middle of where the lace will lie. That way, the sticky will be under that portion. I'm not even paying attention to what's the front and the back of the lace trim. I'm just not worrying about it. Okay, and the same over here. I'm kind of just letting it hang off just a tiny bit on the edges. And you don't even have to do that. Okay, now on the actual stamp, you want to add, well, I guess I'm back to the other glue. I didn't even realize I picked up the other glue. Crazy me. I wouldn't change glues. I just use the same thing normally. But for some reason, it's reached right over there. Now, again, this one could have more than one thing on it. It could have doodahs on it. When I say doodahs, it reminds me of my sister. She says that. You could do a button. You could do just about anything you want. What happened to the pin for my... This is what I do. I lose things. There it is. It's mixed in. If you don't keep your... glitter glue pinned while you're working, it won't let you put your pin back in if you wait too long. See, mine's just perfect there. Okay, good. Now I'm thinking. Over in my stash here, I have some old doily pieces of flowers that have came off of things, and I think there's some blue ones in here, which is what I'm hoping for. Yes, there it is. Just an old piece of doily. Trim this little white pieces off as short as you can without causing the flower to fall apart. It could anyway, but the chances are in its favor that it won't. Now, we could put it in the same place. We could put it here or down here, which covers up the language of this country. I not state of Oman, it says, and then it's got the writing. So you may not want to cover that. Me, on the other hand, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm going to cut these little tips off. Okay, here we go. Whoopsie. Okay. So I am going to put it down here because I like the way it looks there. You could put more than one flower if you wanted to put more than one flower. Like you have red in here and you have yellow. If you wanted to pop a yellow on, I'm going to show you this yellow that is very old. This is old, old, old little trim. So I use it sparingly, but I feel like I need to use it today. So I'm only using one. Mostly because I can't get it again, and I did get it at an estate sale. So I'm kind of try not to use it unless I have to. That's the back. That's the front. I'll see it here in a minute. Okay. Now, we're just going to kind of put it up next to it like they were meant to be together. And there you go. It's amazing the different things we can do with our stamps if we just think out of the box. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these little books. 2 of them I already had made, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's make at least 2 more. And there's other ways to do that. Whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to hit the camera. And I just pounced right on you, didn't I? Okay, so here is, this one has its paper in it. It looks like, and this one is the other one with paper. So first things first is we need to do our stapler, which I should be getting low on staples. Man, that thing got jammed up yesterday, and I thought I was not going to have it anymore. Got me pretty sad. Now, on this one, I was thinking, I have this paper scalloped design I thought we could use somewhere. And let me make sure this is, yeah, this is it. Making sure I have the right tag. Yeah. Okay, so, you know, it's not like we're going to see a whole lot. But I'm thinking, let's cut this nice and straight. And then we can, let's trim out the long way so we can see more. And then kind of hang it over a little bit. So I'm just going to cut right down the center of that. You can ink it up a little bit so it stands out if you want. You don't have to. And we're going to glue that straight down that side. Okay, straight down one side. And that way it should stay on without any problem. And then we'll put the stamp over it. And we can trim it later. We'll just do what we can now. And just leave enough that it looks like what you would do in a normal little book. Okay. And then we're going to take our stamp. If you like making these little books, just let me know. If you want to do a fuller video of them, we're just doing a few. And you want to remember, on things like this, you need to keep them out in front of you on your desk or somewhere close by because they're easy to forget to put in your books. These little doodahs. You can do this same sort of thing making clips for your books as well. And when I mean clips, you don't make it into a book. You just take this top portion here, add a clip on it, but you've got this cool stamp and a little design going on, which I like. I think that's a fun idea too, which we could do along with some more of these books. If you want me to do that, just let me know in the comments. Okay, there we go on that one. We have one more that I've prepared for. I really haven't gone much further than that as far as that goes. Now let's staple. See if we can get through all these without my stapler messing up. And there we go. Nice little edging. Okay, now on this one, I have some tea stain scraps right here. I was thinking about putting on the background to give it like a base and a different color. So we're just going to glue these down a little bit on here. Get my bubble off of my glue. Which is not always easy. Let's see how these work. Goes on there. And then put the other one on. So it just changes the background color for you. Now we're going to put the stamp on. And whatever glue you want to use. I've been bouncing back and forth. Now, I want to make sure it fits on here, so I may have to slide it down. It just barely fits on here. And you can't really see the background. Hardly at all. So what I'll do is for any hangover down here, which is this tiny, tiny little bit, just going to trim that off. And I want to put one of these little tags on. That one seems too big, doesn't it? How about we just staple it on like that. And I'm going to tell you why we're stapling it rather than tying it. For one thing, my fingers do not do fiddly stuff. But a second ago, I saw a little tiny flower. It looks like it's right here. Nope, that's not it. It was an actual... I got glue strings hanging off of me. I do not know where it went, so you know what? We're just going to cut another one. I love these little applique flowers. You can get them at Joann's. They come on a roll. Sometimes you can get pink and green and red on a ribbon roll. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can. I try to keep like black and white and red and yellow and green on most of my stuff here. Now, we're going to put, because this little stamp has this same kind of little flower, we're going to put it right here. And it's going to look like an extension of the flowers on the front. So there you go. You got your little book. Got your little decoration. So here's another one that had a little flower. Now, you could go inside and decorate some of these if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I think it's more fun to let the owner of the journal do that. There's this one, like that. No, like this. Who knows? I don't know. It's on there. There's this one with a little trim. And here's the other two. This was already made. And then this one is the Christmas one. Yeah. So, I hope you had fun today on this video, just piddling around with me. I had nothing special planned. I'm going to try to do these every now and then. I'm just going to lay stuff down and let you try to do it with me. I normally pre-plan and just lay everything out so it goes smooth. But I think I'm going to start not spending all that time pre-planning because it's, you know, it's hard for me to spend that much time in my craft room. So if I do like most of the ladies on YouTube, they just lay stuff out and do it. And I'm very capable of that. I just have been trying to keep you guys from having to go through all the process of it, you know. So, anyway, so if you enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up. I would love that, and I appreciate that. Lets YouTube know what I'm doing. And also, I plan on, in the next video, making some collage papers. And we'll decide at that time what to do with them after we get them made. I'm putting them in a book. And we'll tear some out and cut them and decorate them. And then we'll do the others as collaging. We'll just collage the others while we have the time. All right, guys. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Subscribe if you've enjoyed today's video.